Alrighty, and welcome to another information technology session with Mr. Antoine. Alright, so today we're going to be looking at computer networks, right? We will not go into the latter in this video. We're just looking at computer networks, right? Now, let's start off. Data communication is the transmission of data and information between two or more computers. And that is not limited to just, that desktop computer. We're talking about devices there as well. Many computer users need to be able to connect their computer to other computers, whether located close by or at a remote site. So, in other words, it's in your building or it could be another place, remote, afar. For example, office workers may want to communicate with data on computers at their workplace from wherever they may be working in the world. And home computers may want to access the internet. Data communication is essential for electronic mail, that's email, voicemail, telecommuting, video conferencing, what we now call FaceTime, electronic data interchange, global positioning system, online services, social media, and the internet. Many schools or businesses, other organizations link computers together to form a network so that they can transmit data and information to share files, resources such as disk drives, modems, printers, programs such as word processors, spreadsheet, and databases. There are two ways that can be done. Two ways data can be transmitted between computers. Upload. And upload means to send this data from your computer to another computer on the network or the internet. And of course, we know download. Download means to receive data to your computer from another computer or the network or the internet. Computers can be linked in two different ways or configuration to transmit data. So those two ways are point to point, and that's a direct link between the two devices, right? Or broadband, using one computer to transmit data and information to serve the needs of several devices connected to it on the network. So I will just take the points. Remember, you have a copy of this book. Network configuration. A computer network connects computers so that peripherals such as printers can be shared among computers, right? So it's like this. You have an office, right? And persons are doing, let's say 10 persons in the office. You don't go buy in 10 printers to attach to those desktop. You get one network printer and everybody that is connected on the network can share that printer. So let's see, networks come in all different sizes. A few computers, printers, and a large disk. Usually one size can be linked in a small local area network. That's many small and large computers located in different sites spread over a large geographical area or different country can be linked, and that we call that a wide area network. A good example of a wide area network, of course, is the internet. Several networks coming together. Other networks include MAN, and this is not a human man there. That's a metropolitan area network that falls between a WAN and a LAN. It is large enough to extend to an area like a city or campus. Right, let us see what else we'll look at here. Remember, you have your book, so you scroll through. I'm just scrolling through. I'm just going through that, which I think needs to be explained. Hubs. If you have a network in a school, it's most likely that the computers are connected by a cable, to a central device called a hub. or in more recent times, they will use a switch. A switch is pretty much a smarter hub, right? One or more hubs, if there are large networks, are on the network. A file server is a high performance computer containing large capacity hard drives that are available to all network users. Peer-to-peer network. When a network does not have a file server, it is called a peer-to-peer network. In a peer-to-peer network, each computer acts as a server to the other computers. It's peers. That's where they get the name from. A peer-to-peer network also allows users to access each other's hard disks and peripherals. Right? Let me look at network layout. Careful planning of a computer network is essential. There are three main types of layout, or sometimes called topologies, yeah, of computer networks. And they are star, ring, and bus, or bus star ring. That's yeah, bus star rhymes. Let me see, bus star ring. All right, in a star network, all the nodes, I mean the devices, computers, and so on, are connected to a central switch. This means that each computer has its own connection to the network, that a break in a cable will not affect the working of the other computer. If the switch breaks down, then all the computers on the network is down, right? However, star networks, although more expensive to install than others, they are the quickest. And you see here with the star network, you have your switcher hub and all the devices are connected to it. In a bus network, yeah, it's the simplest type of topology where the network nodes of computers are in a line, as shown in figure 3.3. Bus networks are cheap and reliable, but if the cable breaks, the network is split into two unconnected parts. Bus networks are slower than star networks, with the speed of network traffic limited to 10 megabits per second. I'm not sure if this is a current depiction of a bus network. Unlike a bus network, a ring network has no end to the line. The last node of computer is connected to the first node, forming a ring or a loop. As with a bus network, if the cable breaks, it will affect all the computers on the network. Ring networks are also slower than star networks, with the speed of network traffic limited to 10 megabytes per second. As I said, I think the speed definitions are dated in this book. Yeah, but once we get an idea of the topology, we're good to go. So we're seeing here wireless LAN, Bluetooth and wireless. You'll go through this for yourself. A hotspot is a public area as small as a room, or large as many square miles, that offers internet access over wireless LAN. Wi-Fi hotspots can be in cafes, airport, hotels, schools, you name it. Wi-Fi connections can be made up to about 300 feet away from the device, yeah, to keep users connected wirelessly while commuting. Customers may have to pay. So in some places you actually have to pay. I know when I travel to some of the airports, they give you free, and they limit your speed. And if you want a higher speed, you have to pay the people for the service. But generally, hotspots are free. And as we just mentioned, in some cases, you may have to pay a small change for it. Communication channels. The communication channel is a method or medium used for transmitting data. Characteristics of communication channels include transmission mode, direction of data flow, transmission medium, and transmission speed. Transmission modes or rates determine the number of characters that can be transmitted in 1 second. Two modes are asynchronous. Yeah, I didn't drink enough water to pronounce that. Asynchronous. Data is transmitted at irregular intervals at low speeds, one low speed of one character at a time. Synchronous. Data is transmitted at regular intervals with high speed. Simultaneous. Simultaneous means happening at the same time. Transmission of large blocks of data. Right, I forget to mention the different advantages and disadvantages of a standalone computer versus computers that are linked together or network. Yeah, so make sure you study the advantages and disadvantages. Directions of data flow. Transmission lines and medium can also be classified according to the direction in which data can flow. Simplex. Data in a simplex line can flow in one direction only. Just like traffic in a one-way street. Well, I won't even use that example because some green agents like to break traffic and come up the one-way street still. Yeah. It is a send only or receive only line example or radio and TV. You understand? When you listen to news on MTV on the TV and the person make a mistake, you can't speak to the TV and the anchor would hear you. Data is only flowing in one direction from the TV studio to your TV only. Have duplex for those of the boys who had, kind of adventurous boy days. How you walkie-talkie. This is a perfect example of a half duplex line. Yeah, it can flow in both directions, but only one at a time. So when you have your walkie-talkie and you're speaking, the other person can't be speaking, they'll be listening, and then when they're speaking, you listening. So data can go in both directions, but not at the same time. Full duplex, or sometimes simply called duplex, data can be sent in both directions at the same time, and an example of that is on the telephone. You understand? So when you're speaking on the phone, whether your cell phone or landline, you have both people speaking at the same time or setting for the argument. Could be very confusing. Right? So I think we'll end here for today. Continue reading on your own. The next time I would look at transmission media and the different type of cables and so on. You know what? Let's cover it so then I can give you your quiz one time. Transmission media, cable media. So you have different transmission media. Pretty much is wired or wireless. So remember that business, cable and wireless. I guess they did that because cable and wireless is all about data transmission. And they transmit data by cable and by wireless. Cable media includes twisted pair, coaxial cable and fiber optics. Twisted pair Ethernet cable voice band can be transmit data in a rate of 300 bits per second. Yeah. So that's your different cable here. You have the coaxial cable. They normally use a broadband. If you have flow service, most likely they're using the coaxial cable to bring it into your home, and then they move from twisted pair if you have to connect to your modem, or you connect wireless after the modem router. Fiber optic are similar to those large telephone and telecommunication companies. These cables consist of clear glass fiber, and data is transmitted through them as pulses of light rather than electronic signals. This eliminates the problem of electrical interferences. Yeah, so that sometimes when you raise on a cable, depend on if it's underground or whatever, sometimes the noise from traffic and so on could distort The signal, wireless transmission. Let's see what it says here. Okay, two most above infrared and so on and line of sight. You read that, it's quite simple. Let me see. Intranet and extranet. Intranet is a private network based on internet standards but only available within a business or other organization. That speaks for itself. Yeah, so that's intranet. And then you have extranet. Yeah, once intranets. Yeah, so let's see. Once intranets were developed, it became that businesses and other organizations sometimes want to allow others, such as suppliers and customers, to have limited access. So pretty much an extranet is an internet with the available option of connecting outside. Yeah, so you can use the internet and log into your intranet, and that makes it an extranet, right? Electronic mail, you know those, um, you'll go through those for yourself. Web browser and email, we know that from since Form 1, right? Can I have an idea of these? 3G, 2G, and I think we are at 5G now. Internet address or your URL, Uniform Resource Locator, and that is an example of, let's say, www.facebook.com. That is your URL. Yeah, every site on the internet has an address known as a URL, right? To access a site, you need to enter its URL, and it's unique. Unique. No two sites can have the same URL. Some of the you see, we still went and started web technologies. All right, so I mean, we're definitely doing more than a week's worth of information. Yeah, so this will be like for about 2 weeks or so. Let's pause here. Let's pause here. So the next time we come back, we'll look at some web technology. Guys, review this video. Any question, any query, be sure to hit me up. I will give you a quiz on data communication. Uh, and this is something nice and simple. And the good thing about it, it's something that we're using and we're doing every day. We're just learning the formal terminologies of these things. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe to Chosen One TV. They made this video possible. We're using Chosen One TV equipment and everything to deliver this to you. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Instagram, Chosen One TV. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Yeah, review, and then you'll attempt your quiz. I'm out.